One disease may have killed over 1 billion people throughout history. Not a war, not a famine, a disease. And out of every disease humanity has ever faced, thousands of them, we've only managed to completely eradicate one. This is every deadliest disease in human history, what they did to us, and how we finally started fighting back. In 1347, the Mongol army was besieging a Genoese trading port called Kaffa on the coast of Crimea. Their soldiers were dying of plague, so their commander did something unthinkable. He loaded the dead bodies onto trebuchets and launched them over the city walls. That may have been the first act of biological warfare in history. The Genoese traders fled on ships, carrying the plague with them to Constantinople, Sicily, and the Italian mainland. From there, it spread like fire. Italy and Spain in 1348, France and England that same year, Germany and Scandinavia by 1350. Within 5 years, the Bubonic Plague, the Black Death, had killed between 75 and 200 million people, roughly 1 in every 3 Europeans, gone. The cause? A bacterium called Yersinia pestis. And here's what most people get wrong. It wasn't just rats and fleas. Evidence suggests it spread mainly person to person as pneumonic plague. That's why it moved so fast. But the aftermath might surprise you. The massive labor shortage that followed actually helped end feudalism in Europe. The survivors had bargaining power for the first time. History's most horrific silver lining. The plague had a starting point. Malaria doesn't. It has been with us for as long as humans have existed, literally tens of thousands of years. Some researchers have argued that malaria may have killed close to half of all humans who ever lived. The exact number is impossible to know, but the scale is staggering. The fact that you're watching this on a screen right now means you're among the lucky ones. And it's not history. Right now, today, malaria still kills over 600,000 people every single year, mostly children under 5 in sub-Saharan Africa. We have treatments, we have bed nets, we even have a new vaccine as of 2021, but we haven't beaten it, not even close. 1854, London. People are dying of cholera. Violent cramps, dehydration, death sometimes within hours. Everyone thinks it's caused by bad smells in the air, the miasma theory. Then, a doctor named John Snow, the original John Snow, does something radical. Instead of theorizing, he maps where the deaths are happening, and they all cluster around one water pump on Broad Street. He removes the pump handle. The outbreak stops. That map helped launch modern epidemiology, using data to track a disease instead of guessing. And yet, cholera still kills tens of thousands of people every year in places without clean water. The solution has been known for 170 years. We just haven't given it to everyone. You probably think the deadliest infectious disease in history was plague, or maybe malaria. But there's one ancient disease still killing over 1 million people a year that has a serious claim to that title: tuberculosis. TB may have killed over 1 billion people across human history. For centuries, it was called consumption because patients literally wasted away. And here's what gets me. TB still kills over 1.25 million people every single year. It's the world's deadliest infectious disease right now, not in the past, right now. We have antibiotics that work, but drug-resistant strains are spreading, and 1/4 of the world's population carries the bacteria without symptoms. 1918. The world is already bleeding from World War I. And then influenza shows up, but not the kind anyone had seen before. The Spanish flu killed between 50 and 100 million people in just 2 years. The entire First World War killed about 20 million. And here's what made it truly terrifying. Unlike most flus that kill the very old and very young, this one targeted healthy adults in their 20s and 30s. Your own immune system overreacted and essentially attacked your lungs. The stronger you were, the harder it hit you. 1981. Doctors in New York and San Francisco noticed something strange. Young, previously healthy men are dying from infections their immune systems should easily handle. It takes 3 years just to identify the virus, HIV. In the early years, a diagnosis is a death sentence. The stigma is immense. Governments are slow to act, but science fights back. Combination antiretroviral therapy turns HIV from a death sentence into a manageable chronic condition, 1 pill a day. But over 600,000 people still die from AIDS-related illness every year. The medicine exists, access doesn't. And then there's the one we all lived through. In early 2020, a new coronavirus emerged, and for the first time in history, the entire world watched a pandemic unfold in real time. Live dashboards, social media, daily death counts on every screen. COVID-19 has officially killed over 7 million people. The true toll, including excess deaths, may be significantly higher. We developed a vaccine in 11 months, one of the fastest rollouts in medical history, and people still died, because speed alone doesn't solve access, trust, or politics. Now, remember at the beginning, I said we've only ever eradicated one disease? After everything you just heard, plague, malaria, cholera, TB, flu, HIV, COVID, this is the one. Smallpox killed an estimated 300 million people in the 20th century alone. It scarred, blinded, and devastated civilizations for thousands of years. But in 1796, a doctor named Edward Jenner noticed that milkmaids who had caught cowpox never got smallpox. He tested it. It worked. The word vaccine literally comes from vacca, Latin for cow. That was the beginning, but it would take almost 2 more centuries to finish the job. In 1967, the WHO launched a global eradication campaign. Country by country, village by village, they tracked every case and vaccinated everyone around it. 13 years later, on May 8, 1980, the World Health Organization officially declared smallpox eradicated. Gone. Forever. The last person to naturally catch smallpox was Ali Mau-Malin, a hospital cook in Somalia in 1977. He survived. And after him, no one. Ever again. That's what humanity can do when it actually works together. So here's where we stand. Out of all of these, we've fully beaten exactly one, and polio was supposed to be next, down 99.9%, from 350,000 cases in 1988 to just 40 in 2025. But instead of hitting 0, cases are rising. 30 countries are now at risk. In Pakistan and Afghanistan, vaccination teams work under armed guard. Some have been killed for doing this work. That's how hard the last fraction of a percent is. Almost eradicated does not mean eradicated. The moment you stop pushing, it pushes back. Which disease do you think we'll beat next? Tell me in the comments. 1 down, thousands to go. But we've proven it's possible, and that might be the most important thing. And if you want to know why polio, after being 99.9% gone, is coming back, that story deserves its own video. If you learned something, hit like and subscribe to The Curious Signal. See you in the next one.